what it means to different people on the internet. Today, I'm going to be talking with Cinful Seshions, who is an amazing creator. She is a content creator, but also an SW worker just like us. So that's why we want to talk with her today and figure out her journey, because she is a newer creator. And so talk about all the things from getting started to what's working for her, what's not working, how she can overcome those hurdles, and so much more. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
I'm super happy to have you here, and I'm really excited to kind of dive into your journey so far. Can you first just give us a little background on what type of creator you are and how long you've been doing it?
So I started my journey on OnlyFans back in March of 2023, and I would say my niche is like curvy, BBW, and then I'm a mom, so I definitely have like the fun MILF stuff in there. So it's been 5 months. I've been doing it for 5 months.
Okay, so that's a good amount of time to kind of like understand all the platforms that you're using and understand social media and why things work, why things don't work, and all of that. Do you feel like you are pretty comfortable in front of the camera and all that?
Yeah, so I really enjoy social media and content creation. I've dabbled in it with other types of niches. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Okay, so growing up as a plus size person, I was picked on. I was, everything, even still today, obviously, especially with what we do. But I always just feel confidence within myself. And that's something that I value a lot, because growing up in media, in society, my look, my body, my coloring, like it's never been main media. So I never had a lot of representation out there. So I was like, if it's not out there, I have to create it. It took time. Like, I'm 36 years old. It took time to get here, to be confident, to love myself fully, but I'm here, I'm at this place. And so I'm just happy. I feel good. And so when I feel good, I'm happy and I can be confident and give that like exuberance.
Yeah, because you seem super comfortable in front of the camera from what I've seen on your channel and on your social media pages. And I was wondering, when you started 5 months ago, did it take some time to kind of get used to the content creation and like being in front of the camera? How long do you think it took you to really get settled into that?
Because I'm familiar with content creation and I've had other social media accounts that I built up, just doing other fun things, more passion things. I've always had fun with it, and like I've always been somebody that likes to act and play and just be silly and have fun. So for me, I have a ton of fun. I love being silly, and like once I got on TikTok and was like, oh, you can like react and make videos and sketches and like be silly all the time. I love that so much. So I have a great time being in front of the camera. I'm a ham. I like to just be silly. And in high school, I was in theater and choir and all the things. So just like performing is just fun for me. I enjoy it.
I was in theater too, and I had fun with it. I was like the worst actress on the planet, but I loved doing it. Like I had so much fun, but I was so bad. So what led you to start creating like work content on like these platforms like OnlyFans and Slushy and things like that?
Okay, so obviously, number one, a lot of people are going to say money. So I have worked since I was 17 years old, and I've gone to school and I've had odd jobs, and I'm really tired of that like work to live lifestyle and mentality. I really want more for myself. And then when you see all these people that are like, I have an OnlyFans, I do this kind of work, and look at all this money I can bring in, and look at this security I can create for myself and my family, and this like elevated lifestyle. And I'm like, I would really enjoy that. I think I've worked really hard for a really long time, and I would really like to focus more on the enjoyment and the fun aspects of life, instead of working so hard like into the ground every day. So like right
Yeah.
now I have a regular full-time job that I work every day. Plus I do all my online stuff, and then plus I'm a parent. So like I'm always busy. I'm always working. And so I would like to get to the point where I can, focus more on family and fun.
I think that's a big one why a lot of people start, like you said. And for me too, it was that freedom to live your life and to spend it with your family and friends. And that was the first thing I did. I was like, I actually was living back in my hometown, and I spent so much time with my sister after that because that's what's important in life. So I kind of want to know about a little bit about your past because you brought up that you were in theater and that you've always kind of just been this natural performer. It's things that you like to do. I want to know kind of about your upbringing, if you want to share. Like, is your family open-minded? Were you grown up that way, or was this something a shift? Or like, tell me a little bit about your background, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I come from a mother and a father, and they were married. They're still married. They were married. They're still married.
Oh, wow.
I think that they're going on 39 years married.
Oh
That's a
my
long
God.
time. But
That
for
is a
them,
long
I don't
time.
know. I've been married 7 years. I had to think for a second. 7 years. So,
That's a long
that's
time too.
that's a lot. It has been a long time. Um, no, I love my husband. He's great. And
Oh,
so I have an older sister. She's 3 years older than me. And so that was just us. It was this core, family of four growing up. So I grew up in Northern California, and I lived there till I was about 15, and then we ended up moving. I love California. So growing up, my parents, I wouldn't say they were religious, but it was different because my mom is actually Catholic and my dad is actually Buddhist. So I didn't have like a one or the other. It was just kind of like, believe whatever you want, I guess. So I was like, okay, cool.
oh,
Like indoctrinated into anything. So I really appreciated that very much. My dad's actually from Thailand, and my mom is Caucasian. She's German and English. So growing up, it was definitely just sort of like where do you fit? You're different. Where do you fit? You're not this, you're
Mhm.
not this. But I had a lot of really good friends, and we were pretty close with our family. So right now, like all my close friends and like my sister and like they all know about my other job. But my
Mhm.
parents, they just aren't, I just don't like, even if I told them, they just wouldn't really understand. So I'd rather just let them live in that ignorant bliss of like not really knowing until there's a point where I feel like they need to know, because otherwise they're
Yeah,
just going to be like, know what that is, and I guess, but it's just not, I don't
but
feel that
like,
it's
okay,
important to tell them that. Yeah.
yeah.
If it gets to that
Um,
point where I'm like, hey, I need to have a talk with you guys, which I mean, let's do that. But I'm fine.
uh,
I don't care.
so you're like, I'm open-minded. I'll tell anybody, but we'll see when we get there.
Once I made the choice to actually like go through this, I thought about it really hard. I talked with my friends and family. It wasn't just I'm just gonna do this. I mean, I have kids, I have a family, so I want to make sure that I'm making decisions. These are gonna affect everyone around me. So
Hmm.
I said, if I'm gonna go for it and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna have to do it full force, and I'm gonna have to be okay with being out there. I'm gonna have to be okay. Um, with people seeing me and going, "Oh, she does what? What?" And I'm fine with it because if someone wants to see you,
You're like, you should want to see. Check it out.
yeah,
No, I
no,
think that's what kind of like drew me to you was that I don't know, your confidence shines through all your content. You do put yourself out there. Like you always come to the lives, you always come to the things, and you put yourself in the front. You're not just hiding in the back. And I think that that's what this industry needs. Like you need to be that way to survive in this. So I saw that in you, and that I'm so excited for you because I feel like you have what it takes, to keep pushing
thank
forward
you.
and making bigger moves. And I'm just excited for you. So we talked a little bit about your past, and now let's talk about your present. So how do you balance, like you mentioned, you have a full-time job, you have this, which is a full-time job, you have your parenting, which is a full-time job. How do you manage three full-time jobs right now?
It's really, really hard. It's
Mhm.
really hard. Um, no, I basically it's drive. It's where do I want to be and what do I need to do to get there? And I definitely don't try to lessen any time I have for any of my other categories. But so like my day job, I work from home, so I have a lot of flexibility. So that's when I can also make content and when I can talk to fans and things, or do social media. So I definitely just like shove everything in wherever I can to like get it done. And then school's about to start back up, so it definitely should be a little easier once school starts because right now
Yeah.
kids are home. It's summer.
Yeah.
But and then I'll do a lot of stuff like at night. So, like in my room or whatever. So like they have no idea. They don't know anything now, but at the point where they will ask questions and want to know, I will be totally honest and open with them because I feel that would be the best thing because I'm definitely not ashamed or embarrassed about it. And that's why I knew if I'm going
Mhm.
to do this, I have to be fully open about it. Obviously, they don't need to like see anything specific,
No.
but when the time comes, I'm totally open about it with them. But as far as right now, they're children and they need to remain children.
You just said that it's the drive that kind of keeps you going, right? And a lot of people
Yeah.
think that it's motivation first, but the motivation comes from drive. Like
Yeah.
you have to want it inside you to have the motivation. You're not just gonna like find motivation laying on the floor. Like you have to make
No.
it with what you. I think that drive is what will take you way farther than anything else. Like if you want something bad enough and you're willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen, then you will find success. And that's what people miss is like success doesn't just happen overnight. It happens when you refuse to let go of your dream. Like success happens when you literally refuse anything less than your dream. That's how it works. Now, it doesn't happen overnight. It's something you have to push for. And so I think that's great that you mentioned drive being what motivates you and what keeps you going throughout the days because obviously it's going to get hard. Let's maybe talk about those hard days when you're like, I need a break. Do you give
Oh my
yourself those grace days?
Yes, because I just cried and was like, let me post about this so people know that it's real. Like we get upset, we have hard days. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it's important to be transparent because people glamorize this kind of work and it's really
Mm-hmm.
a ton of work and people have no idea unless they're doing it. It's a ton of work. And so that's why eventually I would like to only have this full-time job instead of two full-time
Yeah.
jobs.
Like you said too, it is true. It's a lot of work. People don't really realize that. I hope that I don't glamorize it on my channel at all because I really like think it's so much work. Like from the beginning, I've always put in hours like a full-time job, even when I had another job and I had to do other things. And I still like have other things that I have to do because I kind of, I have my YouTube channel, which is a full-time job in itself, and like the mentorship also takes a lot of time. So,
Yes. How many
it's a
calls
lot.
a day?
It's long days, it's long hours. Like I actually work Monday through Friday, like same as everybody else, and even the weekend sometimes, and most of the time, honestly. Like I'll still be,
Yeah.
I'll still go out and blog, but I always have my phone on me. I'm always checking messages. I'm always posting new things. I'm always taking new content, like wherever I go. Like it's kind of like it never ends. So
No, it
I
doesn't.
agree. But you know
I
what's
think, I
good
mean,
about it is like once you get to a certain spot, it can slow down. You can take breaks and it's
yeah,
all worth it in the end because like you said, you get that freedom to like do your job from anywhere. You get that freedom to like
yeah.
spend more time with your family. You get that freedom to like pick and choose what hours you are working. Some people work in the night, some people work in the day. And if you get to have the choice, I think that's what makes it worthwhile.
That's why I like being able to work from home. I can put stuff in where I need to, or if I have to do stuff with the kids, like I can kind of just do things when I can do them. And oh, that's what you said, the hard days. So for the hard days or days where I need a break, I absolutely will just be like, I need a break. I mean, sometimes I'll still check socials just because like you have to do those like every day. But I'll try not to like worry about posting anything for the other stuff. I'll try to make sure like if I have messages, I'm like, it's okay, they're going to be there tomorrow. Like, they'll understand. If I need a day and I need a break, just take it. You need it. You need your mental health. You need to have the self-care. You need to respect yourself enough to say, I need to take a break. I need something. I need to get a massage. I need to take a nap. I love a nap. Give me a nap. I
I
need
love
to
it now.
I need to, I need to just be outside in the sun for a while. Like, just like grounding things that just bring you back into yourself because sometimes there's just so much going on that I definitely feel like pulled so much sometimes where I'm like, everybody just like give me a second, please. And what I like to use is actually the happiest hour. They have these terpene drinks and they calm you and things like that. So like I like to use those. They're great.
Oh. Okay,
I'll
that's
send
good.
you the
That's a little tip. Yeah, send me the link on that one. I need those. I
not paid
agree with you.
advertisement yet.
I like what you said about like grounding yourself and like going outside and being in nature. That's something that I used to do a lot when I lived in NorCal because there's like the woods, the ocean, the like rivers and the lakes, and like there's just kind of like more. Whereas like I live in LA now, and not to say that there aren't outside areas, they're just not as like luscious,
Yeah,
not as
lush.
like, yeah. So I try,
Not
but
as
that's something that I've been
nature.
trying to focus on. Huh?
Yeah, not as naturey.
Well, yeah, not as naturey. But that's something that I've been trying to focus on more is like find those spots here that I can go to and like feel grounded and be outside and be with the sun and be with the grass. I think that's so important. And sometimes we take for granted like how important nature is for our mental health. And
Yeah.
like just like even getting outside for 10 minutes sometimes I stay in my little cave over here for so long and then I realize, okay, let me go outside for 10 minutes and it changes my whole life. Like I'm like, I'm a new person.
Yeah, but it literally is a breath of fresh air that just can
Yeah.
re-energize.
So, okay, let's talk about your content. Let's go back a little bit. You said that your niche is like curvy girl, curvy woman. How do you use your platform to promote body positivity? Because you have such good energy around that and you're absolutely beautiful. And I love that you're sharing like your real self and with other people. Because I think so many people, like you said, don't have the representation and you deserve to feel seen and heard. So, how do you kind of promote that on your pages?
So I think a big part is as a plus size person, we're told to hide our body. It's shameful. We shouldn't look like that. Why do we look like that? Whereas, there's so many reasons why somebody may be plus size. It could be medical. It could be you like to eat a lot of sugar. Like, I mean, there's so many reasons. Like I'm just myself. Like I don't diet really hard. I don't exercise as much as I need to. I work all the time. So could I lose weight and change my body? Probably, yeah. But am I okay with just being who I am and living in myself and my body as I am? Yeah, I am. So I think a big part of it is like being okay with people seeing your body, being okay with saying, like, I am plus size and there's absolutely no shame about it. I can look as I look. I am beautiful. I am worthy. I am deserving of all the things. So for me, like when people are like, "Oh, why are you showing that?" And it's like, "Why can't I? This is my body. This is my content. This is my body. I'm gonna do what I want to do."
Mhm.
So I think a big part is just saying it's okay to look how we look, whatever you look like, because we are
Yeah.
all different and we're all human beings and people, and there's no reason that we shouldn't be looked at if we're fine with it.
Yeah. And I think also, like you mentioned, there's so many factors. It doesn't even have to be like a medical thing. It could just be genetics, how, you know what I mean? Like I think
Yes.
that a lot of people like will be like, oh, shame you and say, oh, you need to do this or do that to lose weight. But if that is the body you were came in, like, why do you have to change what that is?
Right.
Like, you shouldn't have to change yourself for anybody
Exactly.
else. And like and like you said, people should be able to see because I think so many people that I talk to, because I talk to a lot of, potential people trying to be creators and they're like, "Oh, I'm too old or I have this type of body and it's not people aren't going to like it or whatever." It's because they're not seeing the representation, but
Yes.
people like different types of people. Like that is
Yeah.
across the board. So, there is going to be clients out there that are going to enjoy your content no matter what you look like, no matter what shape you are, no matter what this or that, no matter what age. And that does not matter because there's going to be people that find you beautiful, that find you attractive, and that are going to like you even as a person. And I think that that's part of it too, is like your personality shines and that's why people come to you. So I think that that's really important, and I'm glad that you're sharing you and being confident in that because so many people like need that from you.
I think a lot of people need to see it. And honestly, I've been confident. I've been sure of myself. Obviously growing up and in the past, I've felt insecure about a lot of things. But like I said, like once I was like, I'm doing this and I'm gonna be confident and secure, that's all I've been. And then all you get back is like, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're wonderful, I love you. And it's like, oh yeah, okay, sure. And so it just reinforces the confidence that you give yourself. If you're like, I love me, I'm proud of me, other people see that. And then they're like, oh yeah, I love you too. And you're like, yeah, I know you love me. It's duh. And so
I totally think that like it's kind of like when you write down affirmations. It's
yeah,
if you're putting out that energy, you're going to get it back. And so being able to say it to yourself that you are beautiful and you are strong and all these things, you're going to get that back in energy out from the outside sources as well. And that just kind of like creates that cycle of it. I think we all have bad days, but it's good to like be reminded that to turn a bad day around, it's literally as simple as giving yourself an affirmation, even if you don't believe it in that moment. Like, even if you're having a
yeah.
hard day and you're like, oh, I don't look this way or I don't feel this way or whatever, take your day, feel sad, and then the next day, maybe write down a few affirmations. I am strong. I am beautiful. I am this and that. And hopefully that'll help because I think for me that's been something that really helps me. What about for you?
It,
Anything like that?
it's crazy. It's crazy that that really works. I think people are like, oh, oh, just say to yourself this and that. It's like, yeah, tell yourself, talk to you. Who else is talking to you like that? Tell yourself, you are beautiful, you are worthy. I am beautiful, I am worthy. Don't be afraid to talk to yourself. Like, I mean, it's not crazy.
Yeah.
You're telling yourself you love you. So do it.
Yeah.
Be in love with yourself. Tell yourself all the things that you need to hear because who else is going to do it for you? It's you.
Yeah. I read a book about psychology because I really like psychology and I read something where it mentioned that when mothers like kind of tell their kids positive things like you are strong or like you are beautiful and all these things, they grow up being more confident in this world and I kind of I think I've seen that in like my friends and in myself. Like my mom, definitely told me, and it goes and it's not even that I'm like so confident or anything like that, but I think I remember her telling me like you are beautiful, like you're so strong, you're like all these things, and those are like memories that are ingrained in my head. And so imagine you were to tell your kid or your friend or whatever, like why wouldn't you speak to yourself that way too? Because that it should be the same thing. What does a typical day in your life look like? Because we did talk about how much is going on in your life. So
Yeah.
how does it start? How does a typical day start?
Okay, so if it's a work week, I'm
Yeah.
up by like 6:30. I get up, I get my work computer ready, I let my dogs out. I have two dogs, so I let the dogs out so they can handle themselves. And then one of the kids, I have two kids, one of the kids is usually up. So then I will go like get some kind of breakfast going. Then I'll come back and start my like logs for my work. And then I'll let the dogs back in. Well, I'll feed them also, let them back in. And then set up the kids with whatever activity or whatever stuff that they need to do for the day. Because I'm very like, they need activities, they need things to do, even though it's
Yeah.
summer, like we do have TV time and all that other stuff, but I'm like, I'm I'm still mom. Okay. You guys are
Yeah.
gonna learn, you're gonna read. And they're like, oh mom. But yeah, so
My
that's
mom
a
used
big
to do that
part. So
too in the summer.
but
I would have to read.
look at you. Look how you turn out.
Oh,
I'd be a proud mom.
stop. So
I'd be a
sweet.
proud mom. I'd be like, look at my daughter. Do you see my daughter?
Oh, you're too sweet.
My daughter is long pole. She's on YouTube. You see my daughter? That's
No, my
but
mom is super supportive.
I love that. I love that so much. My mom, if I told her, she would be my number one fan. But it's also like, again, when I need to, I will. But right now, I don't need to.
Yeah.
It's better now. But
I
then
didn't
I'll
even
just
mean
work.
to tell my mom.
Oh,
My sister told my
okay, yeah. See, I told my sister, but I knew she wouldn't tell my mom unless I was like, you can tell her.
yeah,
But
yeah.
how far apart are you and your sister?
We're 5 years apart. She's younger than me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course
And
the younger sister was like, guess what?
I know she tells all my business. I'm like, all right. At least I don't
I'm
have
the
to do the
younger
hard work.
sister.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
literally told my mom when I got my first tattoo. She told my mom when I came out. She told my mom about my OF. She just spills the tea all the time.
So if I need to know anything, I will DM her.
Yeah, DM my sister. She'll have your
Yes.
back on that.
After I
Mhm.
set the kids up and I finish my work log, like, cause like there's like things I have to do through my day, cause I work in accounting. So I'm both kinds of
Oh,
accountant.
you are the ultimate accountant.
I am.
You're accountant, accountant.
Yes. So I
So,
do it all. I do it all. So
um,
I'll put my work stuff done and then I'll like make a bunch of TikToks and then I will what I do is I'll take my TikToks and then I take off the watermark and I use those for Instagram so I can, repurpose the content. And so like that's a big deal. It's like so many TikToks every day.
yeah,
But
and you're good at being on top of it.
I have to because I have to grow and you have to be consistent to grow. And so it's like it's
Yeah.
exhausting and it's time consuming. But again, if you want it, you got to put in the time, you got to put in the energy. So I was like, okay, I got
Mhm.
to do it. And
I
it's
think
not
also
hard.
to learn, no, like to grow, you have to keep learning how to make better and better content. And the only way to learn, I feel like, is to actually do it.
Yeah,
Because then you look back at your stuff and you're like, okay, I did this, this, this. Oh, I really liked how that turned out. Let me try that and make it even better. Like, if you don't do that, you're not gonna learn. If you just like look
yeah,
at other people's, you're like, oh, okay, I could probably do that. But then you do it and it's not the same. So it's like you
right.
have to do it to learn.
Yes.
Consistency is key.
Yeah, and I came to the TikTok game late because I was like, oh, I'm old, like that's for kids, and I don't need to be dancing online anyway. Nobody needs to see that unless they're paying for it. I was just like, oh, thanks. But I love the transitions. I really love like the makeup transitions, outfit transitions. So
Mhm.
that stuff's really fun. So I enjoy doing those. But then I like just like the silly stuff. So for me, it's not hard to make the content. It's more just when can I fit in the time to make it. But because the content stuff is fun for me, I have like a million ideas. I have a million ideas. I can spend the time creating. I like to edit and create. So I feel like I've had a lot of practice. I've been working on it. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good. Like even when I do my YouTube, I try to like add sound effects and like I try to
Yeah,
make
I
it
noticed.
so that it's good when, I'm new, but at least it's still good. It's not terrible.
Yeah. No, it is good.
I'm trying.
And I think that that's the thing is like every single time, like your energy shines through. You have tons of ideas. You're consistent. Like now it's just keep pushing forward and
Yeah,
all you can do is go up. Like that if you
yeah,
keep pushing forward, there's nowhere else you can go, you know?
I'm going. I'm going though.
Yeah. So what was the most surprising thing that you learned since starting this type of work?
I think so one of the things for sure is the amount of people that really like everything. Like I grew up thinking, the ideal body is, small, thin, petite, light-skinned, blonde hair, and that's like what everybody wanted. But within like this community, there's literally every kind of person, and every kind of person likes that. So I think like
Yeah.
I was surprised by, I guess I was just surprised by everyone just being so like I like it all. Like I'm not gonna limit myself. Why would I limit myself to anything? I like it
Yeah.
all. So that's what was like, oh wow, cool. Like even on Reddit and then seeing the other women, and I was like, these women are beautiful women and they're all different. And it's like, wow, and that I think that's also what helps with the confidence because you're like, we all look different, but we all look the same. So we're so it's like we all got the same stuff and it's all a little bit different, but
Yeah.
it's also beautiful. So I like that. And then um I think, yeah, definitely the amount of work was one of the other surprising things because people, I think they really think, I mean, I knew that it was going to be a lot of work just based on watching like all of your YouTube videos. Everyone that made any YouTube video about any of the platforms was like, I need to do a lot of research before I jump in because I'm a research girly. I need to know. I'm
Yeah.
like, I've got anxiety and I need to know. So let me find out first and let me do my research. So
I think that's
definitely,
important.
yeah, exactly.
You just said that we're all different, but we're also the same. And I love that. That kind of goes back to like what we were talking about, like us growing up and feeling kind of outsidery. But it's so true. Like there are so many different ways to look, but at the end of the day, we are literally all the exact same thing. Like we're just a body and a soul or whatever. Most of the parts kind of look the same, like whether
Yeah.
it's this size or that or this or turned this way or that way, it's all the same. And like you said, like there's so much potential for so many different types of people. There's a place for everyone, and why
Yes.
limit yourself? And also, I think we all, like you said, like we think that you have to be a certain thing. And it's hard to like get out of that like beauty standard type of like mentality. There is opportunity for everybody, and that isn't the only way to look or be, or, there's so much opportunity for everyone. And I think that's good for people to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was like, is this something I could even do? And once I
Mhm.
researched, I was like, yeah, I can.
Okay, so I want to ask you about how your life has changed since starting this, because I know you're not doing it full time yet, but is there other ways that your life has changed since starting this career?
I think my priorities changed a little bit. I think I just have a lot more goals in mind. Whereas before I knew I wanted change. I knew I wanted different things. But I was like, what am I after? What do I want to do? What can I devote my time to? And I think content creating is such a huge passion for me. And there's literally so many outlets that I just realized, now's the time. So I need to go ahead and do it and put the time in and believe in myself and get to where I want to get so I can achieve the things that I want to achieve.
I know you can do it. I can see it in you. You are good. Like you have it in you. You're on your path, and I'm just excited to see it. Okay, so even though you're new, what would you say is some good advice for someone just starting out?
So good advice. I think definitely do your research. Um, Start following people that are already doing that you like or that look like you so you can kind of get an idea. Um, I think you definitely need to be an open-minded person. I think um,
Yeah.
you have to kind of be a little bit you've got to definitely have some common sense because there's a lot of people looking to take advantage of this kind of work, and it's absolutely great work if you stay focused and keep your boundaries and just stay focused on what you want and be proud of what you want to put out there versus just like doing what everyone else says.
That's good advice. All right, well, that wraps up all the questions. I'm so glad you were on the show, on the podcast. Thank you so much for coming on, Sin, or as I like to call you, Cushions. Because when I first saw your username, my brain, like, first of all, I'm a little bit dyslexic, and so I saw it really fast, on my live, and I just read Cushions, and from there on, I've just been calling you Cushions.
So basically, Alanah was on TikTok live, and I was watching. She was doing like a get ready with me, getting ready in the morning. And so, of course, I popped on. I was like, Alanah Cole is live. I'm gonna go watch. And she's like, oh, hey, cushions. But yeah, I'm really excited.
Sin Sessions.
Sin Sessions. It's weird. A lot of people like can't read it. I think it's because the letters are so small on TikTok. But
Yeah.
it's
It's
Sin
like that big, and then and when you're reading like, stuff when it's moving, I'm like, I can't
Yeah.
even see anything.
Yeah,
I always pronounce everything wrong, but I feel like that's like our inside joke now.
I love it. I was like, I have an inside joke with Alanah Cole.
Thank you so much for coming on. Do you want to shout out your pages? And they'll also be linked down below so that you all can check them out. But yeah, shout out anything you want, any your whatever you want.
Yeah, so I'm Sin Sessions. I am on all social media platforms. I just started on Slushy thanks to Alanah Cole. And so
Yay!
I'm excited to get that content going, and that's going to be fun and new and something new to learn. Um, I'm on YouTube. So I just put a video out about coming on THRIVECAST. This has been so fun. When she asked me, I was like, you're joking me, but I'm so excited. I'm so glad. Um, it's been absolutely amazing getting to know you and speaking with you and you helping me. And I just love so much about you that you're all about the community and you're all about just like literally helping everyone else, sharing your experience and wishing everyone the best. And that's like so genuine and so sweet. And we love that so much.
I love you. And yeah, that's what I like. Like, I remember when I first started, I didn't really know where to go. Like, there wasn't that many videos on YouTube, and I just wanted to connect with people that were doing it. And so that's what I kind of like love about this is being able to connect and then also being able to share my experience, but also like learn new things and be able to share those things. So I'm glad that you like it and that everyone likes it. And I'm really happy to have you on the show. I appreciate you so much and I think you're amazing. You're going far. So I'm just excited to see your journey and thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.